Hey guys, so I'm outside today about to do my video because it's a nice day out and I kind of just like didn't want to be in my room all depressed. So I am outside on my balcony. Anyways, oh yeah, I got new hair. I'm not feeling it, but I'm gonna give it some time because this is day one. I just got it done. But anyways, let's move on to why we're here. So I know I told you guys that I was gonna do the videos, sharing my story. I apologize that it's been so long since the next video, but this process is hard. It's not easy. It takes time. It's not something that you can just rush and do. You have to kind of just like go through the motions and allow yourself to feel every emotion and then process it and then, feel confident enough to move on. So that's why it took so long for me to make the next video. But anyways, let's get on to the next topic. So this is season 1, episode 2 of Untold Secrets of a Black Girl. And so let's see. I started this video today because I'm feeling good. I feel vibrant. But I also just had a recent moment that was like a trigger for me, and that shed light onto like more of my childhood issues that's led me to that reaction, right? So I was at work and I was working with these two girls. I'm not going to mention their names, but like I could feel the energy was just super negative and super thick, and like it was just a bunch of tension, right? And it could have been me, like part of it could have been me, right? But I know part of it was from them as well, even though it was denied, whatever, let's move on. But my reaction to the situation, right? That's what triggered me. My reaction to the situation, I completely was just like aggressive as hell. I was like, do you have a problem? And I noticed like that's me all the time. Like I'm always on 10. I'm always super defensive. And I'm like, wow, Shay, like, yes, if there was an issue, I could have addressed the issue differently. I could have been more gentle and more kind and more like, hey, like I'm noticing that there's a problem. What's, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on? Talk to me. Instead of, I just went up to sis and I was like, do you got a problem? Like, what's good? And I was like, once I got home and it's like actually processed what had happened and what went down, I was like, dang, Shay, like you could have did that better. Like you could have handled that better. And I noticed like that's me all the time though. Like I'm always on 10. I'm like always super defensive. I'm like always worried about like having to protect me. And as I mentioned like that in my video before, it's only because of the way like I was raised, right? And then another thing that I noticed about myself this week, I don't know how to form relationships and I don't know how to have conversations. And like I thought it was like, oh, it's because I'm introverted or oh, it's because I'm extroverted. It's neither one of those reasons. It's more like because as a kid I was just like passed around, like you go to this person's house, you go to this person's house, and you go to school and you go to church. But it was never a time where my environment was steady enough for me to attach and get to know people and form bonds and know how to have a conversation with them, right? So now I'm thinking like, Shay, why don't you have many friends? Part of the reason is because, yeah, I have a mouth on me. But another reason is also because I don't really know how to keep relationships. Like, I will be quick to let somebody go and it will not affect me, right? I will not care. And it's like because I'm just like used to not having people. And I realize now that is super toxic, like extremely toxic. And that's something I want to work on. I actually have a meeting with my therapist tomorrow and that's something we're going to discuss. It's like how to properly form attachments. I don't know how to do that. It's overwhelming because like I want to get to know people and I want to have people around in my life for years and years to come, but it's like I really just be feeling uncomfortable around people when they want to be in my space for such a long period of time. I'm like, why are you still here? Like you can go, you don't have to be here to make me feel good. And some people genuinely want to be in my life and I'm like, sir, you can move around. I don't need you. But really I do need them, but I'm like training myself to like not get attached to them because I expect them to leave even though that person may not even have intentions on leaving, right? So I just feel like people don't understand how important, not people, parents don't understand how important stability is. Like I am jealous of people who went to the same school their whole entire life. Like if you went to elementary school from like preschool to like 8th grade, like I'm jealous of you. Like if you went to that same preschool from like that same elementary school from preschool to 8th grade, I'm jealous. If you went to the same high school from 9th grade to 12th grade, I'm jealous because like I remember just moving around and going to different schools and like I don't have a best friend from kindergarten. I don't have a best friend from 3rd grade because I wasn't even in that same school long enough, you know, like I was always bouncing around, or like even in the same neighborhoods, like people be like repping their hoods and stuff, and I'm just like, dang, like I don't, not saying like I have to belong to a hood, okay, like I'm not saying I want to be like this thug ghetto person, but like I'm saying like I can't be like, oh yeah, like I grew up on 60th Street my whole life, like this the block, like this is my neighborhood. Like no, like I grew up in Chicago, yes, but I grew up in many different hoods in Chicago, like many different areas in Chicago. So it's like I'm not attached to anything, and I don't attach myself to anything, and I'm learning now that that's really, really freaking hard for me. And it's like people like, oh, you're so aggressive, you're so mean, and it's like, I know, but I don't want to be like, don't judge me, don't pick on me, don't teach me. I'm saying like, and I haven't met a person that's like been patient enough or willing or understanding enough to know like I have a problem, and it's not theirs to, like, you know what I'm saying, they don't have to accept my toxic behavior, I'm aware of that, but it's like I want people to understand like I don't know, and it's not an excuse, it's more like I want you to know that I don't know, so that you're not upset with me when I'm not doing something that you want me to do. Instead, help me. Sorry guys, that's my dog, he wants to play. Instead, help me, you know, because I really don't know. And even like with my parents now, like I'm not talking to either one of my parents at the moment, and it's like that's not normal. And like for them to not even like check on me or reach out, and like they expect me to talk to them every day, like what is wrong with y'all? Honestly, like why aren't, I feel like black parents don't know how to be real parents, and they expect the kids to do so much. And that leads me to my next topic. I also learned that my white peers, their parents still pay their freaking phone bills. They are 28, 29, 30 years old, and their parents still pay their phone bill. My mom and dad was like, shoot, you turn 18, you grown, you out on your own. And like they made sure to tell me that throughout my entire life, like once you get 18, like I ain't gonna do nothing for you, like you gonna be grown, you're gonna be on your own. And it's like, you had unprotected sex and you decided to keep me and you brought me to this earth. Your job was to protect me, nurture me, love me. And I think black parents think like, okay, my job was to get you here, you're here, I've done my part, I provide you a shelter, that's enough. And even if they let you live in their house, like they make it seem like they're doing you a favor, like, oh, this my house, I let you live with me. Ma'am, where else was I supposed to go? I'm your child, okay? Like, why are you not understanding this? Why? And I saw a tweet that said, like, this lady was saying, like, I got a kid, and I want my kid to know, like, I'm here for them. It's my job to love them. They don't have to do anything but be a kid. And I don't think black parents allow their kids to be kids, right? They want you to cook. They want you to clean. They want you to wash dishes. They want you to be privileged to the fact that they let you live in their house for so long. And it's like, ma'am, this is the bare minimum. I can go bring up my white friends, and they will tell you right now, to this day, their mother let them stay in their house until they was 27, 28, 29, 30, saving their money so they can get up and have a career that they want, so they won't be in so much debt, paying their phone bills, okay? Like, and they didn't make them feel like they were doing this as a favor to them. Like, what is wrong with, like, does anybody else have that issue, like where their parent made them feel so uncomfortable in their own home that they was like, they couldn't wait to turn 18 to get out? I feel like that was my situation. Like, I was so uncomfortable in my house. It was like, I can't wait to turn 18. Like, just like you can't wait for me to turn 18 so I can get out. You know what I'm saying? But so now I'm an adult and I'm on my own, and I'm having to teach myself all the stuff that I should have learned when I was in the home with my parents. You feel me? But because they thought like, oh, this is a privilege for you to be here, I didn't learn those things. I'm still learning how to cook. I'm still learning how to maintain a proper household. Like, it's not enough just to pay your rent. You feel me? You have to know when things go wrong in your house, how to fix it, who to go to. Like, adulting is a lot, and it's even more when you did not have the necessarily provisions or preparation for you to be out on your own, because your whole life you was taught like this is a privilege. You know what I'm saying? Basic necessities in life was a privilege, and I'm still like learning like, no, sweetheart, you just had bad parents, period. So this is what I have to talk about. I just want to know, like, has anybody else experienced that or struggled with that? is this something that's common? Because I feel like I have this same conversation with all my other peers, and they're like, yeah, like it's crazy. And I think it's only like with black parents. And I'm like, yeah, because I never hear any of my white friends talk about how they struggle. You know what I'm saying? Like even now, like my friends at work, like, yeah, my mama still pay my phone bill. Like I'm still on a family plan. Sis, I didn't even have a phone until I was able to pay for my own phone. Okay? Let me say that again. I did not have a phone until I was able to pay for my own phone, meaning my safety was not a concern, because what? It's a privilege to be in this household. And I just want other people to know, like parents coming up in the future, please don't treat your children like this. They didn't ask to be here. So don't make them feel like you bringing them into this world was a privilege, because it's not. That was your decision, and do not make them pay for your decision. If you're not ready to have a child, don't have one, okay? Bye guys, tune in to season 1 episode 3, and in the meantime, let me know what you guys think about this video.